everyone, so I'm in Sydney. This is crazy times. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Paige, I'm from the UK, I'm on a 6-month sabbatical from work and I'm spending the first 2 months of that sabbatical in Australia, exploring the East Coast. I was in Melbourne last week and this is my second week now and I've just flown to Sydney. I landed last night, spent my first night in Wake Up Sydney hostel and I'm joining a group tour today run by the company Welcome to Travel. I'm actually so excited because I'm going to make some friends. This is great. Hopefully some of them will travel up the East Coast with me. Welcome to Travel have very kindly gifted me this tour. They are the Australia travel experts and I'm just so relieved that someone else is sorting my itinerary out for me because I've done zero research coming into this. This next week in particular, I'm joining the Welcome to Sydney tour, so it's focused in Sydney, in the city. I'll be with a group of other 18 to 30 somethings who have also just recently arrived in Australia. I can't wait. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. It has clouded over, but I promise you it was sunny this morning. I grabbed myself an iced latte and was strolling down the streets of the CBD, past the town hall. The tour actually officially starts tomorrow morning with a meet and greet, but I might see some people who I'm sharing a room with this afternoon. And this is my first backpacking experience, guys. This is all very new to me. I'm challenging myself, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to take you guys along with me. And if you like what you see, I have got discount codes for Welcome to Travel tours, whether that's their Welcome to Sydney tour, their Welcome to Melbourne tour, their East Coast tour, or one of their travel packages which combines a few different tours. I will put the discount codes in the description. I'll also put them on screen to the left here as well. And if you do have any questions, just drop me an Instagram DM as well. Anyway, let's get on with the week. I am super excited. So this is Wake Up Sydney Hostel. It's right opposite Central Station. And I'm just going to go and check into my room that I think is going to be with other people who are on the same tour as me. I stayed in a different room last night because I just booked an extra add-on night. I've also done my first proper grocery shop in Australia. Check it out. I went to Coles and I got myself some cereal, some fruit, some Nature Valley bars, some pasta sauce, some pasta, some OJ. Just some general provisions because I found in Melbourne sometimes I just wasn't organised enough to sort out my dinner plans or my meal plans, and then I was hungry and I could have done with some general provisions. I do get provided a fair few meals this week as part of the Welcome to Sydney tour package, and I'm sure I'm going to be eating out a little bit in Sydney with my new friends as well, but these are just some backup options since I will be based in the Sydney area for a few weeks. I think this is the return of the laundry segment and I kind of love it. I am doing my first backpacking laundry round. It has been a week. The time has come to do some laundry. I could go for a few more days, but I also know that this upcoming week is going to be super busy, so I'd like to get on top of it. So I've heard I need $2 coins, which I believe are these $2 coins. It is $6 for a round in the washing machine, and I believe it is $4 for the tumble dryer. Oh, interesting. I want it to be warm. I think I want a normal cycle. Maybe it's medium soil, I don't know. I think we're going, you know. I think it says 36 minutes, which is actually very fast. So I'm going to come back and check on it in that time. Let's go. There is someone in my room, but they are sleeping. They've probably got off a very long flight, so I'm not disturbing them at this point, but I have unpacked. I'm just having some breakfast in the kitchen. We've got the tour meeting at 9 o'clock this morning, a bit of a meet and greet because I've only met the people in my room so far. There's 5 of us in my room, but more people are on the tour. So yeah, looking forward to looking around Sydney and seeing some of the main sites today. This is another brand which is not familiar to me. So we've had our welcome session with our tour guide Anna this morning. She ran through the itinerary for the week. The tour ends on Sunday, so we've got a full Monday to Sunday with Welcome to Travel. It all sounds super exciting. We've got a little surf camp halfway through the week. Today we're off on a walking tour shortly. And then we also had some advice on setting up bank accounts, eSIMs, that sort of thing. A fair few of the group will be staying out in Australia to do a working holiday after the tour ends, where of course an Australian phone number and bank account are pretty critical. However, some people are like me, just travel in Australia. I've got my eSIM sorted already. And now I'm just going off in search of coffee before we start on the walking tour. The problem is it's a public holiday today, so lots of coffee shops are closed, so there's restricted options to what I would normally have. And it's really hot. Really, really hot. I have caked on the sun cream because I burnt yesterday on day 1 in Sydney, which wasn't great. But I put on a big t-shirt this time to try and cover up a little bit more. So this is the oldest house in Sydney, built in 1816, according to Anna, our tour guide. And here is the oldest tree in Sydney, I believe. So we're just in the gateway having lunch. I've grabbed myself an iced latte and a sushi bowl, which actually looks super good. And then the walking tour will continue after lunch. Hello, so I'm back in my hostel dorm room. I'm on a top bunk again, having said that I was going to go for a bottom bunk because I did my laundry here and it just felt convenient to hang stuff over the top of the top bunk to dry because I didn't want to shove it all in the dryer. So yeah, it was just forward thinking with laundry. And also, I quite like it up the top here. I feel like there's that little bit more privacy up the top because people can't see you when they're standing. The walking tour was good this morning. There's 11 people in our group plus a tour guide. Range of ages from 18 all the way to around 30. Probably 50-50 male female as well. But we actually have a free afternoon now because obviously a lot of people only arrived in Australia in the last day or two, so many people are still kind of getting over jet lag and have stuff to sort out in the hostel. So it's a free afternoon before a pretty jam-packed itinerary after this. Hello, so I'm in Sydney's version of Hyde Park. I've just been looking around the Anzac War Memorial. Had a nice chat with the tour guide in there. His name was Ryan, I think, and he gave me all the tips for travelling Australia, so shout out to him. And he was very knowledgeable about the memorial as well. It is late afternoon now. Free time extends up until 6:15 when we're all going for our welcome meal and drinks this evening. So I'm actually going to head back soon because I might pop a little bit of makeup on my face. And the other thing I forgot to mention earlier is that this time's hostel has decent air conditioning. Wahey! The beds and duvets are super comfy. I give them a top tier rating. And also speaking to people on my tour group has reminded me how common it is to take time out of work to travel. There are plenty of people who are kind of mid to late 20s who are taking time out from their careers to come to Australia. And it's very much reassuring when other people are doing the same thing as you know? Anyway, I'm gonna start walking back. It's about a 20-minute walk back to the hostel from here. The one disappointing thing though was the tour guide guessed my age to be 28. 28? 28? I'm 26. And you're supposed to guess that I'm 24. That's how it works, everyone. But clearly I'm just giving off mature backpacker vibes, you know. It's all good. So this morning we are having an Aboriginal culture tour around the Barangaroo Reserve. We are on the land here of the Gadigal Aboriginal people, and we've got a tour guide who is showing us how they use all of the natural reserves around here. Very interesting. It's blisteringly hot though. This is it, guys. This is peak Australia. The image you have in your head when you think of Australia is the Sydney Opera House and Sydney Harbour Bridge. Look at that. Opera House, Harbour Bridge. Some huge cruise ships coming into the harbour as well. We grabbed lunch in the same spot as yesterday. I had a sushi bowl again. It was just as good as before. And then some people on the tour have gone off to the bank to get their Australian bank accounts set up if they're planning on staying out here for a while and working. I am only out here for 2 months in Australia, so I don't need a bank account. So I'm just taking in the Sydney Opera House and Sydney Harbour Bridge atmosphere. I'm probably getting really burnt as well, so I do need to head back to the hostel soon, reapply sun cream. We've got a break until about 3:45 today, and then we're doing a cocktail making workshop. You wouldn't believe it, but it's actually supposed to pour with rain again and bring in another big storm at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Obviously it chucked it down with rain yesterday evening while we were having dinner. Lightning, thunder, the lot of it. Luckily we were under a cover on a rooftop terrace restaurant bar, but seriously the rain last night was torrential. Come to Australia, they said. It will be sunny, they said. Big tropical storm. This view out to the Harbour Bridge is fantastic. Seriously wow, seriously wow. On the other side of the harbour there is Luna Park, a theme park that they also have one in Melbourne actually, in St Kilda. And there's the Opera House up there and right next to it. While I'm down in this direction, I did want to come in and explore the Botanic Gardens. I came in here on my first day in Sydney, but not all the way down to this section by the Opera House. The Botanic Gardens are actually pretty huge. It takes quite a long time to walk around all of them. I'm gonna have to take some more photos, guys. But the thing is, the photos don't capture what it's like in person, you know? And the Opera House, it's so weird to see something that I've seen in so many photos and so many videos in person. Like, that's literally it right there. Like, I'm just Paige from England. What am I doing next to the Sydney Opera House? How did I get here? I think I'm gonna walk a bit and then find a nice shady tree to sit under. Now, don't get me wrong, I really liked Melbourne, but I think I might love Sydney. I don't know. What I really liked about Melbourne is I found that a lot of the sites were very walkable, whereas Sydney feels a lot more spread out. You have to get the train or the metro around. Just come out of cocktail making. It was good fun. Made a cocktail that was very similar to a porn star martini that I forget the name of. Something 8. and then mojitos. Now we're at a bottle shop, Vintage Cellars, but I'm outside because, as you might know, some of you might know from watching, I'm not a huge drinker. 2 cocktails, or actually 1.5 cocktails because I didn't finish my second one. More than enough for me for one day. But yeah, it feels weird that it's light outside because it was dark down in the bar that we were making cocktails in, but we timed it quite well because it was just when it was raining. And then we're going out for dinner. The place we're going for dinner is bring your own booze. So that's why people are getting alcohol beforehand. We are down Spice Alley grabbing food, so there's lots of different Asian food stops where you can choose your food, and then we've hired a room upstairs where we can all eat together. Grabbed myself a Diet Coke because I'm not drinking. So, to catch you guys up, I'm now on a boat. As you might be able to tell, we are on a dolphin watching cruise in Jervis Bay. They're dolphins in the wild, so there's no guarantee of seeing them. But the people here seem quite knowledgeable on where the dolphins' favourite feeding spots are. So we'll see if we see them. Other than that, everyone stayed up and played cards last night after dinner down Spice Alley, and then everyone's just been catching up on sleep on the coach this morning. So this is the proper main event of the day, I think. I'll head outside when the dolphins make an appearance, but I do sometimes get a little bit seasick, so just sitting by a window looking outside and taking deep breaths. So dolphins were a flop, but we're going on our first beach trip, so that's exciting. Good evening everybody. So we are at surf camp, and before getting here I sort of registered the surf aspect of this day, but I didn't quite register the camp aspect, and it very much is a camp atmosphere. Home cooked meals that everyone has together, and we're in sort of cabin like arrangements, bunk beds like the hostels. This is my bunk here. We've bought smaller like hold-all bags and rucksacks with us and dumped our big bags at the Welcome to Travel offices in Sydney. And yeah, we've got our surf lesson at 7 o'clock or something crazy early in the morning. So I'm gonna get to bed quite soon. As I might have mentioned already in this vlog, I don't drink a lot, and as the evening turns to more drinking related activities, I tend to check out a little bit and want to go to bed. But I do want these vlogs to illustrate that it is possible to have fun while not drinking and backpacking. Booze-free backpacking is totally a thing. You're not alone. Here's a little quick room tour. We've got my bunk. We've got another top bunk. Another pair of bunk beds, another pair of bunk beds, and a final bunk. I think there is only 6 of us in this room because we've got 12 on the tour in total across 2 rooms. What's interesting about these top bunks is there's no side rung, so you've got to be careful not to roll out of bed. And that's why I chose this nice low one here. We are a little way down the coast from Sydney at the moment. We'll be heading back to Sydney tomorrow, but we're going to be doing our surf sessions first. So it's a fleeting visit to the surf camp. I think you can opt to do like full 5-day surf camps here. And generally the vibe here is very surfer. Everyone's walking around with like wavy hair. Anyway, I'm gonna go investigate the shower and loo situation and then get some sleep before our very early start tomorrow. Also, this surf camp is in Jiroa and it's part of this Welcome to Travel tour that I'm joining. And last thing to mention, the signal is actually quite patchy down here. The Wi-Fi is not great, there's not much 4G, so it's definitely an area where you just switch off and don't go on your phone and stuff like that, which is so nice in this day and age, right? Just get offline. Sometimes we all need that little bit of a forced break from social media, you know? It is morning at surf camp. I've got my wetsuit. I need to go try it on. Okay, so we've had the morning surf lesson. I'm now back in the camp, about to have lunch after a shower. I would say that surfing is maybe not my calling in life, but hey, you can't be good at everything. Tapped out after about half of the lesson had gone. So I had a good go. I kept just like turning over and going into the water, even when I wasn't even trying to stand up. I don't know if there's any video footage of those fails, but let me tell you that they happened. And yeah, ready for some food. The food smells so good. But it's a fun experience. You can't really come to Australia and not surf. I don't think that's allowed. We have just stopped off at Coolangatta Estate Winery for a surprise wine tasting. I've never done wine tasting before, so this was actually a great experience. Still not sure I can distinguish too well between the different wines, but I enjoyed it. I especially like a sweet wine or a red wine. It is still a little bit overcast today. It's been raining this morning, but we were in the sea, so it didn't really matter. And now it's about a 2-hour coach journey back to Sydney Centre, so might catch a few more hours of sleep, although I did sleep quite well last night at surf camp.